Hello, magical people. Hope you're all doing very well. My name's Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to the Beyond Astro weekly forecast here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, quite late actually today, you guys, with just running a little bit behind schedule. So, hope you're all doing very well. Thank you so much for joining me. And we're going to get into our weekly forecast for the week ahead. And before we get into that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Beyond Mystic channels. And if you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me, those are available over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. And I think my availability at the moment is starting in November 2025, if I'm not mistaken. And I am going to start to be doing, excuse me, less readings. I love doing astrology readings, but I'm going to start doing a little bit less of them. So instead of multiple days a week, I'm going to kind of cut it down in terms of the days of the week and the hours. So if you'd like to see me this week for a reading, you can go book in at the link below. And also check out the Father's Day giveaway sale that Carla is doing over at Orgonites.com. This is valid until June 15th. The winners will be announced on June 17th, and you can use code Father's Day, all in one word, to get 25% off. We got Jill in the chat. You say, hi, Meg, watching with Steve. Hello, Jill and Steve. I miss you guys. I hope you're doing very well. It's been almost a year since we were in England. Isn't that absolutely crazy? I was talking to Jens about that earlier, since we went on our England retreat. So yeah, how's everybody feeling? Let me know, what are the vibes that we're feeling? We've got a very interesting week in the Western astrology. Serenity in Tax says, hey Meg, can't wait for another one of your amazing courses. Is there another one soon? Yes, there are going to be some soon. Can't say what they are, but stay tuned. Serenity Intact. Be sure to follow me on my socials or subscribe to the newsletters to keep up to date with all that. Cindy says, anxious. Yeah, I've been hearing some people saying they've been feeling a little bit of that anxiety vibe, Cindy. I hope you don't feel anxious for very much longer. We've got a lot going on as we go into this week. So we're starting with Sunday, June 8th. For me, it's technically Monday, June 9th in the middle of the night in Belgium. But the week from Sunday, June 8th going until is Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, June 14th. So lots of shifts. We've got Jupiter entering his exalted position of Cancer on Monday. Very, very positive. Okay. But we do have Jupiter square Saturn, Jupiter square Neptune at the beginning of this transit. I'm going to break this down a little bit. We're also going to have this week Mars trine Chiron, a full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, June 11th. On the same day, Mercury sextile Venus. June 13th, Sun square North Node in Pisces. And we're leading up to Sunday, June 15th, start of next week, with a banger. Mars square Uranus and Jupiter square Saturn on the same day. So this is a lot to unpack. We're starting the week with Moon in Scorpio. Okay, Sun in Gemini, Moon in Scorpio. We can be feeling emotionally intense. Sunday going into Monday. Monday, we've got the moon ingressing into Sagittarius, a lot lighter of a sign, and we're entering the full moon portal. We're actually in it right now as I speak because we're 3 days before the full moon. We're going to have exact full moon, 20 degrees of Sagittarius on Wednesday, June 11th. Jupiter entering a new sign. Full moon in Sagittarius. Sun square the North Node, and we're leading up to a Mars square Uranus and Jupiter square Saturn exact both on Sunday, June 15th. So all of these things happening together, and it being a full moon week, this is a week about release. This is a week about, interesting that I do want to say the word shadow work, okay? Because this full moon, even though it's in Sagittarius, which is a lighter sign, it is at 20 degrees which is a Scorpio degree. Okay. Full moons are about endings, completion, release, illumination of whatever areas of life it's highlighting in our personal charts, and also in the collective full moon chart as well. So a little bit of everything. As we go into this week, I think there can be highs. There can also be lows. I think grounding is going to be very needed as we go into this week. Very positive that on Monday, Jupiter is ingressing into Cancer. Woohoo! Jupiter in his exalted position of Cancer, which we're in that for the whole next year period. Jupiter is the lucky ducky planet of abundance and expansion and opportunities, divine wisdom, and soul growth. In Cancer, his exalted position where he likes to be, which is all about home, family, nurturing, healing energy, also abundance. So that's a positive influence, but we're starting off that Jupiter in Cancer transit with Jupiter in square to Granddaddy Saturn and in square to Neptune. So this is a week of, we're really feeling that expansion from Jupiter in a challenging sense because it is a square. It's bringing out the challenging aspects of Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries. Now, one of the things we are seeing as we are starting the week this week is these kind of riots, looting, protests happening in Los Angeles, which, there is a potential here with Saturn and Aries, Neptune and Aries in conjunction. There could be some sort of martial law enacted. Now, I don't want to be correct about that. Okay, just saying astrologically that oops, sorry guys, with that Jupiter in square to Saturn and Neptune in Aries, it's war, it's conflict, right? We've got Pluto in Aquarius, which is illegal immigration and the shadow side of that. And for those of you who don't know, the ICE raids in Los Angeles are bringing on very destructive protests and looting. So I know there's things going on all over the world. We've got literally wars going on that have been ongoing. We've got, good and bad things going on all over the world. But very interesting development that we've got these illegal immigration riots, looting happening. And I think there might be some really intense things coming up with that, with Jupiter in square to Saturn and Neptune. The military, right? Aries is the military, Aries is conflict. Jupiter is expanding that. Aries is also war. So I'm not saying we're going into a World War III, but there's a conflictual energy in the air this week. And people feeling with that Jupiter in Cancer, Saturn and Neptune. Jupiter in Cancer is very protective. Cancer is the sign that rules protection, personal safety, and security. So we can be feeling highly protective, maybe a little bit even overly protective as we start off this week. We'll get some of the lighter vibrations of Jupiter in Cancer starting in July, when that Jupiter square Saturn and Neptune is out of a very strong orb of influence. So yay, Jupiter is going to Cancer, which is very lucky for the whole collective, very positive for us all. It's bringing divine protection. Jupiter is the planet of divine protection, exalted in Cancer, but it's heavy the first few weeks in a square to Saturn and Neptune. So you guys know I give it to you straight. I give you the astrology straight, okay? It is going to get lighter as we get into July and August with that Jupiter in Cancer transit. Miss Vicky says, all of a sudden last night, a full-blown panic attack. First in 15 years, racing heart, shakiness, no medication to calm the nervous system. Oof. Well, Miss Vicky, I'm sending a lot of love your way, and I sure know what it feels like to have panic attacks. I've on and off had panic attacks my entire life, and knock on wood, I haven't had one for the past few years, very intense, but I'm sending so much love your way, Miss Vicky, and everybody. If you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling panic, if you're feeling wonky in that really challenging sense, I know it sounds really simple to say, but breathe through it. Take deep breaths through it. It may sound really weird, but if I'm ever having a panic attack or anxiety, I touch myself. I'll even like punch myself lightly to bring myself into my body, touching your body, shaking, bringing yourself in the body. John says, try meditation. In the medical astrology, this can be a time where we can have more of a propensity for anxiety, panic attacks with Mars in a square to Uranus. So I'm just going to say, as we go into this week, okay, even though Jupiter's entering Cancer, which is very positive in the long run for the whole rest of the year, it's a full moon in Sagittarius. It's leading up to Mars square Uranus. It's leading up to Jupiter square Saturn. We've got Saturn and Neptune conjunct. This is a wonky energy this week. Okay, this is a wonky energy. This can be destabilizing. That'll be different for us person to person. Some of us may be feeling physically destabilized, emotionally destabilized, mentally destabilized. If you're not feeling that, great. But just know that there's a propensity for that. Mars square Uranus really can screw up our nervous system. So spend as much time as possible as you can in nature. The full moon in Sagittarius on Wednesday, it's a beautiful portal for release, letting go. This is amazing for us to be doing any cleansing kind of protocols or detox physically or spiritually. And that full moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is about our higher perspective, higher beliefs, religions, institutions based off of beliefs. So we could have some very big revealings or endings, changes having to do with religions, belief systems. What have people been holding on to as beliefs? So that's going to be very interesting. So very good for us to be doing some letting go and letting go of beliefs that no longer serve us, right? And see where you have 20 degrees of Sagittarius in your personal chart, because that's an area of life where this full moon can be highlighting a completion and also illumination of those areas of life for you. The house that you have it in and any planets within 5 degrees. Miss Vicky says, thanks, Meg. I hugged my favorite tree and walked barefoot in the grass. Earthing does help. Yes, earthing definitely does help. For sure, for sure. Jill says, my nervous system was totally out of whack last week. Yeah. Yeah, it's also, someone was saying earlier that the Schumann resonance has been going crazy. So there can be a little bit of that as well. A lot of different things going on at the same time. But this week astrologically, it's not boring. I'm actually going to give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of the energy levels. So do lots of self-care. We got full moon. We got Jupiter's changing signs in square to Saturn and Neptune, highlighting that Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Be extra mindful of your health out there. And let's pull some cards for our week ahead with these current astrological transits. See what the universe wants to share with us about this week ahead. And there is a lucky element to this full moon in Sagittarius too. There can be positivity to it, but you guys know I like to give the astrology to you straight, that there are some intense things going on at the same time. Interesting. Wow. Okay, interesting. So this week may be bringing up for some of us insecurity issues. I really, really can be shadow work coming up for us. The Magician reversed. Keywords: insecurity, ineptitude, weakness of will, illusion, manipulation. I think this is going to be a very healing full moon. We've also got the Knight of Pentacles reverse. The keywords are lack of courage, avaricious, am I saying that right? Jealous, grasping, unreliable, obsession with work, stubborn. We are being tested this week, big time. This is our first full moon with Saturn and Neptune both conjunct in Aries, with the dispositor Jupiter now in Cancer. It's a full moon in Sagittarius, the dispositor Jupiter exalting Cancer. It's going to be strong, and we're going to be weighing our options. We're weighing decisions, we're weighing options. There may be confusion. It doesn't sound super fun, but I think this is a week of healing. And this is a week of, I'm hearing Spirit say, let go and let God. And some of the plans may be changing, which is a theme that I've been getting over and over again lately. Sometimes we try to force things in life. And for some of us, the plans may be changing, but it's bringing us into a better space. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Two of Swords reverse. I've just pulled also some clarifiers here. Really important week for us to protect our energy, protect your space, because we are going to be releasing a lot this week with full moon. And this Jupiter in square to Saturn and Neptune conjunct, it's bringing up major reality checks of what this Saturn in Aries is all about, right? And we've got the Wheel of Fortune as well. So as we let go, as we let God, as we surrender, that's when positive change happens. Destiny, luck, happiness. You have strength and new beginnings. The cycle restarts. So this is a week for us to really check ourselves before we wreck ourselves. We can be feeling really good if we're being honest about some of the reality checks that are coming up. And I'm feeling Spirit say, in particular, in your relationships, in your own sense of will and your values and your self-worth. Okay. Digimine says boundaries need clarifying every so often. Yeah, Aries is also the boundaries, right? So reality checks in our boundaries as well. So let me know in the comments what all y'all's full moon intentions are. With this full moon, I'm feeling like, because it is intense astrology this week, my intention is to let go and let God. I want the universe, God, great mystery, whatever you call the higher source, to show me the way. And for me personally, with this full moon, I'm surrendering to the mystery of life. And yeah, let go, let God show me the way. That's my personal intention. CR user says, I want justice and truth. Heather, hi Heather. Nice to see you here. Starting a fast tomorrow. 2 days till Wednesday over full moon. Love that. Yeah, I'm back on my cleanse that I've been doing. So I'm doing that this full moon week. Yeah, letting go of control as we go into this week. There's going to be some very big structures and systems that fall with this full moon in Sagittarius. So love you guys. Thank you all so much for joining me. And before I finish up here, and the energies are going to get lighter. Okay, by the way, we're just going to have a little bit of a wonky week ahead. To help you get through the wonk, Sunny from Pluto and I have created these new astrological crystal kits that are available over at thescorplingshop.com, our online store. We've got kits for each of the 12 signs. You can get your sun, your moon, your rising, all of them to awaken the magic of your sign with crystal healing. Recently started a new weekly show called Beyond Crystals on the Beyond Mystic channel every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see you guys this upcoming Wednesday for the next Beyond Crystals. You can use code AstroCrystal on all in one word to get 10% off. And Sunny and I have put a lot of love into the Astro Crystal kits. Thank you, everyone who has been making orders so far. Linda says, just ordered 3 crystal kits today and can't wait to receive them. Thank you so much, Linda. We can't wait for you to receive them. We love working with the crystals as some of our allies. And Later today on the Beyond Mystic channels at 8 p.m. Eastern will be the Wacky Woo Show with JC, and I believe Jay Snip will be the special guest. So you can go check that out as well. Love you all so, so much. Sending so much cosmic love your way. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Daily Astro Show. Bye, everyone.